Hello students, here is 8th class chapter 1 in science, that is crop production and management. You have already learned what is crop, then patterns of crop, that is nothing but kharif and rabi crops with examples. Today you are going to learn some basic practices of crop production, that is called as agricultural practices. So here, in order to grow crops, some steps are implemented. We cannot grow plants or crop plants as we wish. There are some practices are there. So what are the agricultural practices? Is nothing but activities undertaken by the farmers or cultivators over a period of time. So some practices are undertaken by the farmers or cultivators over a period of time is called as agricultural practices. So which are the agricultural practices? One is preparation of the soil. The first step is preparation of soil. Next is sowing. Next, adding manure or fertilizer. Next, irrigation. Protection from weeds. Next, harvesting. Then storage. So these are agricultural practices. Preparation of soil, sowing, adding manure and fertilizers, irrigation, protecting from the weeds, harvesting, storage. So now we will learn the first step, that is called preparation of soil. So preparation of the soil is the first step before growing the crop. So before growing the crop, we must prepare the soil. So preparing soil is nothing but this important task in agriculture, to turn the soil, that means mix the soil and loosen the soil. Soil contains microbes, earthworms, then some microorganisms or some plant materials, that is dead animal bodies are there, air, water, all these are there. So mixing is important. So mixing of all these important, we can lose the soil. So the lose the soil which allow the roots to grow very well, and also root cells can breathe very well, very easily. They can breathe and get the oxygen from the soil. So in order to make the soil somewhat loose, to grow the plants, that is important step before growing the crops. Then, the soil contains air, water, minerals, then dead plant materials, because when the plant parts dead, it's added to the soil. If an animal dies, that is also added to the soil. That remains on the soil and is activated by microorganisms as well as earthworm. So these organisms make the soil fertile. Such fertile soil is called humus. So humus is nothing but fertile soil. It is mainly prepared by microorganisms like bacteria, fungi, then earthworm, that is nothing but animal. All these organisms are called as friend of farmer. Here, these are mixed by the organisms. Then there is a process called tilling or ploughing. So in this tilling or ploughing, we can mix the soil very well with all these components. Then the instrument used, that is called as plough, which is made of iron or wood. So that is used. So while mixing or while ploughing, some clams or crumbs are formed. When the land is dry, we need to watering. So watering is important process, because which make the soil somewhat Then leveling is next step. Leveling mainly can made by leveler. Just by using leveler, we can make the soil somewhat level, which helps in proper sowing as well as proper growth of the plants itself. So that is nothing but plowing or tilling. So mainly, after plowing or tilling, generally, the top soil contain minerals, water content, etc. so that plants can grow very well. Top soil is necessary for growth of the plants. So here you have learned about some basic practices in agriculture, that is nothing but agricultural practices. Steps in agriculture, that is activities are undertaken by the farmers over a period of time, that is called as agricultural practices. Under that, which are the steps? Preparation of soil, sowing, then adding manure or fertilizer, irrigation, protection from the weeds, harvesting, storage. So these are some steps in agricultural practices. Then what is tilling or what is plowing? That is nothing but ududu. Then which instrument is used in tilling or plowing? That is nothing but plow. All this you study in this class. Thank you, students.